She could have a good attempt at that on a third.
And just to give you an idea of some of the greats in this competition, their opening weights, Svetlana Podabedova of Kazakhstan, Olympic champion at this weight and world champion from Kazakhstan, 127, and triple world champion Nadezhda Evstukina from Russia, 115, Kang of China, 125, Rim of Korea, Olympic champion but at a lower weight, 69, 120, and also the second Russian, Olga Zubova, at 120. So you can see that this is going to be extremely competitive, but of course what's fascinating is, can anybody get near the historic record of Natalia Zabolotnaya, Snatch world record of 135 kilos. That is a very special record.
That stood for a good few years, I believe, as well.
Yeah, it's actually since 2011, since the first ever President's Cup in Russia, in Belgorod.
That's better. Second attempt wasn't too far away, but that's the aggression and the focus that she needed. Somebody would think she's a bit chuffed with that one.
And so she should be. I mean, that's not just a new personal best by the odd kilo. That's a 6 kilo personal best.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And that, you know, she was sitting down in 12th place, and that's going to zoom her up the order.
Really big fight to stand with the weight.
Goes into first place with 107, of course. But plenty of lifting to come. And now Kachanka coming out next. 108. $111 in this year's European Championships, so building towards at least that mark. This is a 3 kilo increase. Well, did the lights just go out?
I don't know if that even went past her knee. Does it count as an attempt? Loaders, get yourself off the platform, please. Until the bar passes the knees, it's not counted as an attempt. She still has the remaining time.
No, she doesn't. It's a disappointing and expensive miss. I'm not quite sure. It is a little like that. The lights just go out, but disappointing to see that. Shouldn't be losing lifts in that way, particularly not on a second attempt. Because usually, Michaela, I don't know what you would say to that. Usually, it's not a weight that you're frightened of. It's a weight that you've dealt with before.
Yeah, it is, and it's definitely a weight that she's been capable of before. I'm just listening to what's going on here. And you've got the small Polish guy who's coaching the American team, just querying the scoreboard. They're asking why Lydia Valentin, she's been scratched out of the snatch, and therefore the total, but why does she still have a starting weight down on the clean and jerk? I think that's just an error on the technical side, and that they will put lines through Lydia Valentin's clean and jerk as well.
Yeah, I think they'll adjust that before the start of the clean and jerk. I don't think that's, if that was what it was about. I suppose what he was saying is she in or is she out? Because I want to know what kilo she's going to lift, because my lifter may be in contention with her, so I really want to know whether I'm factoring.
Well, they're both due to start on the same weight, his lifter. And
so he does have a point. So, Obadina, 109, just put the bar up another kilo in the last moments. Happy with that?
Yeah, no problems at all. 2 out of 2, looking very comfortable, very confident.
Interested to know where she goes now, because, you know, she did 112 in the Pan Americans this year, and I would think another 3 kilos.
Yeah, 112, maybe 113, depends how that felt.
113 would be nice.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
To get a new PB.
Really good extension. You can see the bar continuing to float upwards as she's dropping underneath.
Again, she's a lifter who has moved up in this current Olympic cycle from 69 to 75 now.
Let's hope this wasn't a psychological problem.
This is for first place by virtue of body weight, lighter body weight, over the Colombian, who just succeeded at 109. Well, it is her habit to walk about a bit, but she gets it.
Well, I'm not surprised when she rips the bar like that. It's going to hit her hard at the bottom, and then she staggers to stand up. But whatever the problem was on her second attempt, she's overcome it. And successful now with 109. That's a really good recovery. You can see here the bar hits her quite hard. Really big impact on the shoulders. Somehow manages to keep the arms locked and stand still.
Yeah, and she's actually got quite a bit of platform left to work there with. And Daria Namava of Belarus slipped down the order to 5th place, but coming out now for 110, and again this would change the lead. She would go into 1st place. But 110 is a new personal best.
And that looks so comfortable, so solid underneath the bar. Just wouldn't bet against her, looking the way she does today.
But we've still got 5 talented lifters waiting in the wings yet to start.
And all 5 of those are starting within 5 kilos of each other, so this is hotting up to be another closely contested battle.
So she's put this up by 2 kilos. 111. Well, she's 33, pretty well the most experienced lifter on the platform today.
Well, that's a shame. You see the replay, you just see the receiving position. She's almost looking up at the bar. I do take the mick when I'm coaching my athletes and say, what are you doing, looking to see where it is? You know where the bar's going, have the confidence to land it overhead. As soon as you lift your chin up and look up, you're going to almost push yourself back away from it.
So, certainly one of the talents that we're going to see. But is Evstekina going to be able to hold off not only her own teammate, but also Podobedova? We'll have to wait and see, because you're looking at the triple world champion, 11, 13 and 14.
Bit short on the extension, but she saved it. That's because the weight is fairly comfortable, 115, her best is 130, so quite a way down on that, but needs to get a bit more aggressive, a little bit more explosive if she's going to succeed on her next 2 attempts. See here, strong off the floor, but just short in the extension at the hip. And luckily, it's light enough that she can manage it.
Dreadfully disappointed. The tears were flowing in London when she missed 126 kilos 3 times, Nadezhda, but we'll see how far she can go. And now from Russia to Belarus, Namava, third and final attempt on 1:15.
Well, as her previous 2 attempts, absolutely superb. And that 1:15 is a new best. I know you had it down as a bit lighter. I've got it down as doing a 1:14 at the Nationals, and I know you don't always accept national championship results. I do. She's done 1:14 before, but that's a new benchmark. There's all.
Yeah, well, you know, to go 1:05, 1:10 and 1:15, you really can't argue with that. Body weight only keeps her in second place behind Evstukina.
Off the table, good height, good flight, absolutely brilliant. Incredible energy on the skis. 9 out of 9, the perfect start.
Djokovic is champion in Melbourne.
Manitou stops the clock.
The last Grand Prix before the final in Barcelona. And performing in front of their own fans, Hanyu, the Olympic champion, and the brilliant Mao Asada, back after a year off. Both targeting their season's best. NHK Trophy from Japan, tomorrow, live on Eurosport 2.
The interesting thing between Evstukina, though, and Namava is the fact that they weighed in with exactly the same body weight, 74.23, which in the situation the two women found themselves at that moment, following each other, it meant that the first place goes to Evstukina because she got to that weight first. Some may take a different view about why aren't they first equal, but those, or that I should say, is the way the sport is adjudicated. And so Rim Yong Sim, Olympic champion at 69 kilos in London, bows to the bar. Bronze medalist last year in this weight category, 123 kilos. That's what she lifted. How does she get on now at 75?
Good lifting. Really good start to the competition.
Well, this is very enjoyable, Michaela. This is good sport. This is good weightlifting.
It is good weightlifting, and you know, I don't want to tempt fate, but we've only had 4 failures so far in the whole competition. It's not very often you get a competition that's as clean as this. And not only that, the technique is from all of these lifters has been really, really good.
Yeah, and to put that bar into the optimum position is absolutely, you know, it's a demanding task. So Olga Zabova, the second of the two Russians, she's 21. Evstukina, 6 years her senior. But Olga, former junior world champion.
All short on the extension as well, has to fight hard and manages to stand. That's a really good save. That was so close to going out the back door. Probably best to see that from the side to see just how hard she had to fight. But that was a tough opening attempt, not because she's not capable of more, but she made it so much harder simply because she didn't quite get the full extension. Going right back on her heels, steadies herself before standing. Great effort.
But as you rightly say, the kind of using energy that she might have wanted to retain for later. And now Svetlana Podobedova, and well, we haven't seen much of her since she won her Olympic title back in London. You might remember that she was in her career disqualified, but came back to win the 2009 and 2010 World Championships, representing Kazakhstan, and opens up on 121 kilos.
Well, the Kazakhs have been working hard. They've been producing some very good results.
It's an interesting story, you know, when she was subject to that disqualification, when she came back to Russia, which is where she originally came from.
Yeah, defected to Kazakhstan.
Because the Russians said you wouldn't be able to lift for our country in the Olympic Games. Now, Evstukina, 115, and this is a 6 kilo increase, currently in 4th place, this to put her into the lead.
Well, we said her first attempt was short. That didn't improve enough. And with the increased kilos, 6 kilos from her first attempt, it's just not good enough. She's got to get more extension with the hip. That's where she's lacking in terms of generating the upward momentum on the bar. She'll be disappointed with that. She needs to get those legs firing.
Well, this is really difficult because, you know, she's in a field which contains so much talent.
This is so close, David. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 lifters now still in the competition and only 3 medals at stake. This is going to be a fight right to the end.
Podobedova of Kazakhstan in the lead with 121, ahead of Rim Yong-sim of the People's Republic of Korea, 120, and then Olga Zubova of Russia on 120 also, but a little bit heavier, and that's why she's in 3rd place at the moment. Rim Yong-sim, the only lifter to weigh in under 74 kilos. But that's actually part of the story of her moving up from 69 kilos. So Evstukina, triple world champion, now under pressure to keep in touch. Oh dear. Well, this is the first really significant setback for one of the favourite lifters.
She's wearing a back support underneath that leotard. Interesting to see if she puts another belt on when she comes out for the clean and jerk. You're not allowed to do that.
So no change in the order. Podobedova ahead of Rim, Kazakhstan ahead of the People's Republic of Korea, and Russia in 3rd place. So Russian hopes at this particular moment resting on the shoulders of the younger lifter, Zubova. Youth Olympic champion back in 2010 at 63 kilos.
Oh, sluggish through the middle. Bar never really accelerated as it passed the knees. That's the phase of the lift where all the power is generated. The speed off the floor doesn't matter too much, but when the bar passes the knees, there has to be acceleration to generate upward momentum. And it was just one speed all the way through.
So that was an attempt at 124 kilos. Nobody actually wants this weight at the moment. Podobedova 125, Rim 125, and of course we haven't really given or paid much attention to China's lifter, and this is Kang Hui, who has yet to start and has posted 127 as a starter.
Well, these weights are pretty impressive and worth noting. I know I'm looking a bit further ahead, but on the clean and jerk, the 4 lifters that are now left in the competition, all of them have starting weights between 153 and 155. So it really is going to be a fight, and not just for the medals on the snatch, but all the way through by the looks of it.
Yeah, Kang, double world runner-up in 2013 and 2014 when she was behind Evstukina, but clearly at the age of 24. Looking to make serious progress tonight, but before we see her, and indeed before we see Rim and Podobedova, then it's down to Zabova now, who must really get this to stay in touch.
Let's see if she can fire up a bit more. That's better, but still not got the extension on the legs. See the replay, the hips will be left behind the bar, never fully extended. It was a laboured attempt, and that's going to cost her. She'll be lucky if she stays in a medal position now. I think we could well see her out of the medals.
Certainly not in the first half, but they both, her and Evshikina, have got strong clean and jerks, and they're going to have to rely on that big time to try and come back into this competition. Well, the first attempt by Rim was very convincing. So
yeah, I was very impressed.
This one is going to be equally impressive. Composes.
Nice. Sits so straight underneath the bar. Almost looks effortless. Trust me, it's not. 125, that is a huge effort in the snatch.
And a personal best for her. Remember, this is still a relatively new category for her.
Well, I think she's going to have her sights set on Rio next year.
Lightest of the class.
How she can continue to develop a couple more kilos in body weight. And I think we're going to see her coming even stronger next year. Great position overhead. That's textbook receiving position.
Still got one to come. Podobedova here with 2 attempts to come. And remember, Kang hasn't yet started. The bar at 126 for the former world champion, for the reigning Olympic champion.
No, short as well. Wow, these girls have gone from looking really explosive and dynamic on the first attempts to just lacking through the second phase of the lift.
Yeah, I mean, at her best, I mean, she's consistently lifting 130 plus. But
well, it's not a weight she's not capable of, clearly strong enough. You can't afford to leave the hips that far behind. I'm not saying we need to drive the hips forward. If you do that, then it'll send the bar out in front. But you do need to get extension, a bit like a jumping action. If you jump and you have full extension at the hip, that's where these lifters need to get to.
Well, Kang's obviously finished her warm-up out there, ready to go, you know, standing by. And not unreasonably.
Well, I think
the Kazakh lifter taking the time that she wants. This is her last attempt, and 126.
Well, you can see her wasting no time here. Taking a look at the clock, they nearly got caught out on time. I don't think they realised that she was following herself. You saw the Kazakh coach run out to the front just then. Loads of time, she's fine. Well, that is disappointing. She's guaranteed a medal regardless of what the other athletes do, but it's clearly not the medal that she came for.
Yeah, and there are 2 lifters now who could move away from her. To a certain extent, Rim, because Rim is going to go for 127, but it should be Kang who comes out first, and here she is, because it's her first attempt. So we didn't see her last year so much because she suffered a leg injury, and she made the point in the Nationals that she was conscious of having to work on her stability and also to become more consistent. So the Nationals, she lifted 125 to take the national title in China. So I do take note of national titles.
Only the Chinese ones. Oh no, I'd fail that. What did you think? I saw flexion in the elbows. What are the referees going to say?
You see,
You've got to be
central
kidding me.
referee there has decided, and that's Georgeta Ion from Romania, very experienced. She wasn't happy.
No, I'm sorry, that to me was a very clear press out.
And the reason I didn't really answer your question,
Both arms, look.
because you asked me whether I would give the lift or not, I was sort of uncertain.
You didn't want to commit,
no,
you mean?
No, it wasn't that. It's just that there's been a level of inconsistency amongst the jury.
Oh, there's been a level of inconsistency, but we've seen a lift pretty much the same as that yesterday, overturned by the jury.
What I'm saying is, I couldn't disagree with you, but equally, I could wonder if the jury would give it to her, and she's actually got it at the moment by 2-1, unless somebody objects. And as soon as this woman is on the stage, where she is now, the opportunity has disappeared. You have to. The jury were going to make a move on it. They have to do it before the next lifter comes out. They can't do it retrospectively now. So Rim 128, and this would give her not only the lead but a 7-kilo advantage over Svetlana Podobedova, and that's something I didn't expect.
Yeah, she's got it. Needs to stand.
No.
Oh, goodness me. So close. I thought she was going to recover from that. Let's hope she hasn't hurt herself. Oh dear, she has. She could well have pulled her groin there. That receiving position, if we watch the replay, you'll see the stagger. Oh no. Oh, that's game over for her, I fear. That could have been too much stress on the adductor, on the groin, the hip. Somewhere around that area, she's going to be suffering. Yeah, she does not look very comfortable at all. I've done it myself, landing in a receiving position on the clean and popped the reflective head of Rec Femme off the bone. Well, that's a real shame. If she goes out of the competition now...
Oh, it takes a big slice of competitiveness away, doesn't it?
Well, she was a real contender, and she's the only one at the moment pushing Kang of China for a medal. Desperately disappointed for her.
Well, Kang going to 130. 131 I have as her personal best, set in the Asian Championships, or the Asian Games last year, I should say, when she was the silver medalist, actually. Now, is this going to be legal?
No way. I'm sorry, I wonder what some of the public have to say about that first attempt. Could have been a much more interesting competition had it been refereed.
Well, it would be if she happens to fail the third attempt, because by your measure she would be out of the competition.
Well, yeah, but should have taken the same weight again. This is up 3 kilos now, so
yeah.
One attempt remaining. Is she going to extend her lead even further going into the second half?
I wouldn't have thought it's necessary. I think where she is now, just get the 130. I mean, that would give her a 5-kilo advantage over Rim, who so sadly looks as if she may well be out of the competition, but that would put her 9 kilos ahead of Podobedova and 10 ahead of Zubova, and suddenly a competition which looked so competitive, and here we see Rim.
No, she's in a lot of pain right there. I don't reckon we're going to see any more of her in this competition, which is so sad.
Yeah, we lost Mary Opologi, Commonwealth Games champion, who now represents Samoa for reasons we've yet to discover. We lost Lydia Valentin, the European champion of the past 2 seasons, just in the last 24 hours as a result of a back injury. That's so tough. And so Kang going for 130.
Again, moving in the right elbow.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
last.
I cannot believe this. If they failed that, but they passed the first one was worse than that. Definite movement. Same
so
as
clear on the right arm.
But the first attempt was the same as that, but on both arms. She's a very lucky lifter to have a snatch going forwards into the clean and jerk.
And to have the sort of a, well, she's doubly lucky, isn't she? She's got away with it on the first attempt, and she now finds herself in a comfortable lead, given the injuries to Rim and the failure of Podobedova. Look at this, 127, one lift, and then Rim 125. But we're doubtful that Rim can come out. Podobedova down at 121, Zubova at 120. And if Kang lifts to form, then she's got a very strong clean and jerk, as strong as anybody else.
You can only understand my devotion, my madness, if you share my passion.
Glasgow welcomes a new round of the Revolution Series. And there's a strong lineup. It includes 2 Olympic champions, Geraint Thomas and Laura Trott. Sir Chris Hoy will also be there as a special guest. The Revolution Series from Glasgow, tonight, live on Eurosport 2.
Defending champion. Catching up. 141. It was 145.
Well, she's brought her starting weight down, but that was fine. No problems at all. One thing I do like about Evstikina is the way she lifts on the clean. Just watch how straight her arms are. I'm not sure they're totally relaxed, but having the arms remain straight for a long time enables the legs to fire powerfully. See here, legs before she drops under. The arms don't do any pulling up. There's no ripping up with the upper body. It's all the power from the legs. Good drive to arm's length. Guessing she's had a problem in the warm-up room, which is why she's lowered that starting weight, but that looked good.
So 2 kilos more to accomplish what Jenny Arthur couldn't quite do, which was 6 out of 6. And this is really impressive when I look at the sort of numbers. 4th in the Europeans this year, 241. She's already got 255. She's already on the target she posted. Come on. Yes, the perfect 6.
Well, what more can you ask for on the World Senior stage? And remember, she is still only a junior. What brilliant lifting. Absolutely flying. She is a little way down on the best weight that she clean and jerked at the Nationals. 6 out of 6, lifting in superb form.
Yeah, and ends up with a total of 257, and the first lifter to exceed her total entry. And new marks all the way, so very good performance by Nomava. And we might have had a little disappointment in the first half, Michaela, with, you know, the big names, the so-called stars of the show. But, you know, these other athletes have really treated us. Jenny Arthur, Nomava, you know, they've really been producing good stuff for us.
Yeah, they have. This is undoubtedly one of the best competitions we've had in this World Championships. The standard of lifting has been excellent. It's been a competitive category, and just a shame on the snatch that we had some dodgy decisions.
Rim has gone down to 150, as you predicted, but doesn't seem much of a reduction to me.
Well,
but
no.
Evstikina now, 146, 5 kilo increase to take her into the overall lead and the lead in the clean and jerk. But a lot of challenges to come, but she must make these lifts.
Really good, all the way through the lift. Has to focus hard, lots of concentration required. You're only thinking of a couple of technical points, but it's so important that you stay composed all the way through.
Really difficult for her, though. Remember, she was, what, 5-6 kilos down on the women who ended up in silver and bronze medal position at the halfway stage, and it's really difficult to catch up because they've got decent clean and jerk form as well.
I think she's going to be struggling to get herself in amongst the medals. Evstikina is just left a little bit too far back, and we've still got 4 class lifters to enter the competition. Here's one of them.
So Podobedova. Now Podobedova, she entered 155. Look at this come down, 147. That's a big drop.
That looked like oscillation to me. I'd like to see that wide angle so we see the whole body.
Once again, if there's someone looking in not familiar with that term, oscillation, Michaela?
Yeah, oscillation is when the bar is whipping on the shoulders. When the lifter stands up, the bar should stay nice and still. Here, stands up, that's normal whip, but that is deliberate whip. And deliberate whip is not allowed.
But she's given the lift, and now, well, is this brave or is this foolish? 150. That's the total that Rim Yong Sim is looking for to add to the 125 that she got in the first part of the competition. And this would take her into the overall lead and the lead in the clean and jerk.
If she's successful with this lift, I reckon it could well be enough to guarantee herself a medal. I think Podobedova is going to have to go something crazy to stand a chance of overtaking her. So if she can get one lift in, she can then just sit back and wait. Maybe if she doesn't need to do another lift, maybe she'll be happy with just getting a medal.
Yeah, she'd have 275, and you can just see how awkwardly that she's coming on the stage, how gingerly. Well, this takes enormous guts. I know you talk about mind over matter.
She's pulled something for sure. She is going to be in a lot of trouble tomorrow. Right now, that pain is being masked by the amount of adrenaline.
But just look the way she goes down to lock onto the bar. It's hurting me, and let alone her.
She needs to put the pain out of her mind.
Oh.
Up.
Fantastic.
Does she have the legs to drive? Great effort. Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Give it to her. That is a good lift. Unbelievable guts to do that. They shouldn't be sitting, they should be standing. That is unreal.
Oh, I'm so gutted that we're not going to see Rim at her best. Look at this for a gutsy effort. It decks her at the bottom, has to stand. You can just see how hard she's fighting just to recover. She can hardly move that back leg. Pushes all the way to the end. And she's in the competition, she's in the lead at the moment. Question is, can she hang on to a medal?
And I was really impressed that the doctor from Turkey, Dogan was right there to help her, and we're straight out on stage here now with Zubova.
Whoa, kept the bounce going, kept the momentum. As the Russians always are, super strong overhead.
But she has come down 5 kilos from her proposed 155 to 150. So
clearly some warm-ups have not gone quite to plan.
Or are they just accepting that, you know, Kang of China is going to take this away and they're just concentrating on the bronze and silver? But that 150 takes her up to 270, and 270 is 5 kilos behind Rim of Korea.
Who'll succeed Ronnie O'Sullivan? The UK Championship, today, live on Eurosport 2.
Just looking at the scoreboard, Podobedova is going to need 8 kilos more than Rim to go ahead of her.
Yeah, again, body weight will count here because Rim is the lightest of the class, but this is Evstikina going for 5 kilos here, and this 5 kilos would take her up to 266. But it wouldn't put her into the lead in the clean and jerk, only into the silver medal in both the clean and jerk and the total. Just an outside chance of a medal if things go wrong for others. But it really is an outside chance. But she's got to make this in the first place. And that's not the Evstikina we've come to see, I have to say, over recent years. She was gutted in London when she didn't get a total. She did get a bronze medal way back in Beijing in 2008, but she was going for a hat-trick of World Championships, defending her title, but she was a long, long way off. Well, believe it or not, Rim, well, they've entered 155, and I think, well, they'll probably hope that she only needs to take it if Podobedova or Zubova actually fail. So Kang, as planned, at 155.
Well, needs to stand still. She wasn't given the down signal. What happened there? It looked okay to me. She's just looking at the referees for an answer. You need to see a replay. Have they failed it?
2-1.
Well, there's no way that she didn't hold. She definitely held that long enough. Somebody give us some answers. Come on. Yeah, the jury have stopped the competition, quite rightly so. Didn't see any fault, didn't see any infringement with the lift, other than the fact the referees didn't give her the down signal quick enough. And it's not safe for an athlete to hold that weight overhead for as long as she did. Nothing at all wrong with the clean. Bar was whipping, then it was stationary. Arms are locked.
Now, feet, they are still, and they were in line. Then she starts to move, but she was actually stable and in control for long enough. Now,
so have they overruled it? We don't know. What's the scoreboard say?
We don't know.
Well,
they've said no lift. But they've
okay,
turned
there
it.
we are. Good lift. It's hard to see from this angle where the feet were. Maybe the referees didn't give her the down signal because they didn't deem the feet to be in line. Pretty tough to see, but she was clearly stood under control. It's a good lift. Well, Kang's lifting is somewhat controversial at the moment. Podobedova coming out now, second attempt, 155 on the bar.
So here is the 8 kilos to take her ahead of Rim. Can she do this, though?
Well, that was strong. Oscillation, come on. Please, we need to set a standard here.
Well, that's a no lift.
And if that's
Alexei Neve may wave, but, you know, actually,
it's
as far
fairly
as you're
clear.
concerned, that is the right decision.
Absolutely, that is so clear, so obvious. No, don't put your hands up like that. You know the rules. I'm so happy to see that the lift has actually failed on oscillation, because so many lifters have tried in the past to get away with it, and they're only now starting to clamp down on this as a rule. Bar is whipping all the way, and that's deliberate. And there's a press out as well. I'm not sure what the referees failed it on now, whether it was oscillation or the press out. Well,
Rim, I was thinking that, you know, Rim would only come out if necessary.
Well, this is necessary, I think, based on Podobedova's last attempt. I think she's quite capable of getting that. So Rim is coming out for this on the assumption that Podobedova is going to be successful on her third attempt.
But
she needs this.
But it's a 5 kilo. I just wonder whether 5 kilos would 3 have done.
Well, I hope she stands straight out of the clean, at least make it a bit easier for herself. It's overhead. Can she stand still? Stand still.
Stand still. That's it. She's there.
Oh, dear me. Please, no more. I don't know if I can take any more of this. Well, the loader's just coming onto the platform to create a screen. That's just to protect the lifter from the cameras.
On the right there, Dr. Dogan Altilan of Turkey, one of the regular doctors who's a specialist doctor for the sport of weightlifting. The coach is there. But whatever happens, if there's some sort of award, Michaela, for the guts and bravery of the whole week of the championships, this is the woman who would deserve it. I mean, she is in tremendous pain at the moment.
Well, I think it's safe to say that she will not be coming out for a third attempt. I want to put her out of the competition if her coaches don't, but this is just the gutsiest lift we have seen of the whole World Championships so far. This was the medal to secure the lift to secure a medal. It's not going to be gold.
But 280 has turned the screw on Podobedova.
And she cannot now.
No, she cannot now, because 8 kilos will not get her to 280.
She's relying on...
She's looking for third place.
Zabova missing 2 attempts. Good clean. Right, the arms are good. Let's see what the referees say now. Again, I'd still fail it on oscillation, but they've given it to her. I reckon then the previous attempt they must have failed on the elbow movement. Well, she's in a medal position so far, but there's still well, just looking at the weights changing on the scoreboard all the time.
Yeah, remember, in the wings, waiting to come now, Olga Zubova, who's sitting on 270, and she's got 2 attempts, and she's going to take a 6 kilo increase. She's going to creep closer to Rim, but the great thing for Rim is the fact that she's in second place, and may
she's
get
guaranteed
pushed
a
down
medal.
to third, but the bronze medal is very much on for her. It's Podobedova who is most likely to get pushed out the medals. Zubova, Russia, 256. No.
Wow, there are
Now-
some pressurised lifts coming out right now.
Well, Zubova is also obviously heavier than Rim. So, I mean, basically, you know, she's on 270. She have to take an 11 kilo increase on the third attempt. That just isn't going to happen.
No, it's not. Zubova is going to have to come out on the same weight again. This is the weight she needs to guarantee herself a medal. No, look, they're talking. The coaches are talking
well,
to
they're
him.
talking about it because at the moment,
Seriously?
yeah, Kang is only 2 kilos behind and lighter body weight. But if she is going to come out, it would have to be now, and this would put her into the overall lead. But surely this is not something they should
No,
do.
look, even... Oh, come on.
No, come on, don't do
What they're saying to her is, come on, we need you to do 157. 157 will put you ahead of Kang of China and put you into the lead. And they'll have to hope then that Kang fails her next 2 attempts.
Oh, it's...
Goodness me. There's just... This is where you've got to consider, in my view, you've got to consider the welfare of the athletes. The luxury that the People's Republic of Korea have is they have depth in talent. So if she ends up missing several months of training, they've got somebody they can replace her with. So they're not really looking at the welfare of the athlete in this case.
Now, the significance of this lift is if Zubova does not get this, then Podobedova actually stays in third place. So this is a significant attempt. The clean needs to be much better, and it isn't.
Needs to drive now with the legs. No, I don't think so. Press out on the right elbow. The buzzer hasn't gone, so not all 3 referees saw it. What do the referees say?
I think they've given it to her.
Well, when she landed on the jerk, the right elbow was fractionally bent. When she
Replay
recovered, it was
coming
straight.
up. Let's hope we got a good one. Here we are from the front.
Keep the replay from the front. Keep it here all the way through. Clean was okay.
Watch the
So,
arm.
on our left, you can even see it there. It was bent. It was definite press out. There, bent. Now it's straight.
Well, I thought we'd seen everything. I don't believe this. At half-time, I didn't think we were going to see her at all. And this is almost... Well, I was going to say it's as painful for us to watch as it is for her to do, but that's a ridiculous statement to make.
This to go into the gold medal position on the clean and jerk and the overall total, with only Kang of China having lifts remaining. Unbelievable.
3 fantastic cleans.
The stability worries me underneath the bar, though.
I know. 1. Oh, no, it's not that. Oh, it was 1 too far.
She's okay. Well, so she's no worse, I don't think, than the previous attempt, but it was a gutsy effort. A really gutsy effort. You can't fault her for giving everything.
You will not see a braver athlete at these championships. Brave, foolish, courageous, gutsy. She is the world silver medalist.
Yes, that cannot be taken away from her. She's okay. The bar did not hit her on the way down.
She has totaled 280 kilos. That is 4 kilos more than she lifted last year in taking the bronze medal, but in completely different circumstances. Last year, not injured. This year, the fight of her life. And now, Kang, who's got 282. She's won the overall title for China. She's only in third place in the clean and jerk, and she's asked for just 3 kilos, which I think is a very sensible choice here to get the clean and jerk gold medal to complete the set for China, and then, well, she can decide whether she wants to use the final attempt. Has she lifted 158 before? Yes, last season in the Asian Games. This is still a very big question for her. Now you can see what the significance would have been had Rim come out and lifted those 2 extra kilos. She would now be in the lead, and Kang would have only 1 attempt to go. It doesn't matter, really.
Well, Kang has definitely got the overall gold, but she needs this 158 to secure a clean sweep of gold. She's only down in third position on the clean and jerk at the moment. Good drive, just tried to shove with the arms at the end. Needs to use the legs more.
And remember, you know, look at her stats. She's only made 2 out of 5 lifts so far. You compare that with Rim, who under extraordinary circumstances, or in extraordinary circumstances, 4 out of 5. And 3 of those in extreme pain. It'll be Rim's name that everybody will remember, you know, from this competition. Kang may have won it, but it's Rim they'll talk about.
Oh, I still cannot believe that she even came back out after the snatch. I thought it was game over.
I reflect on how much pain you had in Beijing.
Yeah.
And what you put yourself through.
Yeah, lifting with a broken back.
And so you can, you can directly relate to what Rim put herself through.
Absolutely, and the pride of being on that platform, representing your country is everything, and just that sense of achievement. You just don't want to quit, you don't want to give up.
We should stay for the medal ceremony, shouldn't we? I'd love to see that with Rim. If they can get her ready to come out and get her medal, I'm sure they'll do it somehow.
She'll need support onto the podium, I'd have thought.
Kang.
For the gold on the clean and jerk. Dip forwards.
Well, there is the end of the competition. And how close did Rim come to stealing the championship from China with those 2 failures? And you've got to say that the coaches of the People's Republic of Korea, they read the competition perfectly. And here is Rim sitting here being supported by her squad.
Being supported, being dressed. That's how much pain she's in. She can't even get herself dressed. She is going to be in so much pain tomorrow and for the next few days. But you know what? She'll reflect on this in a week or so when that pain subsides, and she will just see how remarkable this achievement was. Hat off to her.
Clean and jerk, and Olga Zubova, in all that's gone on, as you can see there, has taken the gold medal from Rim by 1 kilo, with Kang down in the bronze medal position, only getting that from Podebedova by virtue of body weight, 74.78 to 74.85, and wow. Kang from the B group up into 11th place overall with 131 in the clean and jerk rankings. Well, this has been a competition which has had so much, but here is the result here. Kang for China gets 2 gold medals. Rim just 2 kilos away. Zubova gets the overall bronze. Podebedova in 4th place, but loses out on body weight again. Evstakina, former world champion, she's out of it in 5th place.